Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a brand new Sacred Union Energy update. It has been a while since we've done one of these, and we're going to do it in a little bit of a different way. Now, before we get started, I do want to remind you that we're going to be moving the Sacred Union and Ascension Relationship Energy updates over to the Patreon. That's because we've built an amazing foundation here of teachings and understandings and evolution along our journey to really understand what this journey is about and go deeper with our own ascension processes, especially if you're on the Sacred Union path of ascension with a partner. But the journey feels very sacred now. Not that it hasn't always been, but it feels like we're reaching a new level. We've been channeling Journey's End for quite a while now, and it feels like we're really beginning a new phase that really feels like it's much more sacred, much more integrated, and it just feels really appropriate. I've had some experiences that kind of push me in that direction, but this is something I've been thinking of for quite a long time, for the past, I want to say since last year at the very least. But I never felt comfortable enough to make that move because I never wanted to put anything behind a paywall. That never made sense to me. I always wanted the teachings to be open, as I always felt that they should be open. But as it feels much more sacred now, the journey feels much more sacred. It feels much more... how do I say this? Like it's resonating in a much different way than it had in the past. It feels much more appropriate to do that now. Now, if you don't want to join on the Patreon, that's absolutely fine. We're still going to have a community here. We will be posting clips. We'll be cross-sharing as we feel called to, so you still will have Sacred Union energy here. Over on Susan Dawn Ascension Connections, we'll still be channeling more in depth about the Sacred Union path of ascension and ascension itself. So we'll still have the teachings and the experiences and the channelings, but it will be broader. We're expanding to more of the soul path, to more of the general ascension. We've always done things from a very high level place, that it's not just about the connection, about the relationship, but it's about your connection with yourself, your connection with God's source, coming home to yourself. I had channeled the other day that your Sacred Union is your evolution. It's a story of your evolution. That is what your Sacred Union journey has been. It's a story of your evolution. And you're doing that with a partner. Your partner is mirroring to you or showing to you your homecoming, your connection to yourself, where you show more love to yourself or need to show more love to yourself in various degrees, various ways. And so it does feel like these relationships are evolving as relationships, but especially the relationship and the connection you have with yourself and the connection that we have with God's source and universe and others around us. So we are going to continue, of course, to provide for the community. That's part of my mission, part of my service work. My journey continues. Again, this platform has been part of my own personal experience, my own personal journey of evolution, as much as it is for the collective. I'm sharing my story of personal evolution. I've been going through this process of evolving along the way as well. I always say I'm right there along with you guys, learning and growing and reaching new understandings and new consciousness and reevaluating and all this stuff, new beliefs and shifting beliefs and understanding from deeper levels, and that's evolution, right? That's expansion. But it really does feel like things are really shifting. So we're going to move the readings over to the Patreon. So over on the Patreon, we'll have Sacred Union updates. We'll have Ascension relationship updates. We will have occasional pick-up piles and specific scenarios. So if you're used to the Patreon, we'll still have some of those. And we'll have live streams. So if you would like to join, you can join over there. April will be a freebie month. So if you join now, then you won't be billed for April. As we try to explore and kind of test it and see how we like it. And just as a way to, make sure that those who want to join can join and those who don't want to join don't have to. But again, we're going to still continue to post clips from those readings or cross-post as I feel it's important for the greater collective, so you won't be missing out. And we're still going to have general collective and love readings. We'll still have the soul path readings. I'm going to pick up on those as well, and we will continue to have on my sister channel, Susan Dawn Ascension Connections, we'll have light language transmissions and more in-depth channelings. And I'm very excited for those in-depth channelings. There is a lot that's been coming through that I am getting more insight on before I share it. So I want to have that understanding for myself before I understand it for the collective, or before I share it with the collective, just so that I understand what's coming through, the teachings that are coming through. I want you to remember that there's nothing that I share that you don't already have access to. That I want you to take it as it resonates for you. Everybody's truth is going to be different. Everybody's journey is going to be a little bit different. We're all walking up the mountain of ascension, but everybody's path is going to be your own path, and it's going to be sacred to each one of us. So even though we're part of a collective, take what resonates for you and disregard what doesn't. You don't have to take anything that doesn't resonate for you as truth. Reach into your heart. That's what we show here. That's what we teach here. Really trust in yourself, trust in your own intuition, trust in your own journey. Every single one of us has pieces of the puzzle. I learned just as much from you guys as you learn from me, or as you say that you learn from me. This has been a beautiful community and a beautiful energy exchange, and I'm extremely grateful for all of you. I always say that it's an honor to read for you, whether you are a personal client or whether this is part of the collective channelings, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's an honor because it is a beautiful community. It's a beautiful energy exchange where I learn just as much from you. So I do want to extend that as well. Everybody has pieces of the puzzle, and we always talk about and share how it's really important for you to focus on your path and go within and trust in your own wisdom. As a healer, as a guide, as a reader, whatever label you want to use for me, my job is to facilitate that for you. I did some angel aura energy healings today, and it was really beautiful for clients, and it was really beautiful because it's the understanding that I'm just the facilitator. I'm not necessarily a healer. I'm just the facilitator of that healing, of your own healing. I'm just holding that space for you to receive what comes through me. But as you go along your journey, you're going to realize and open up to that within yourself, the truth within yourself, and gain that confidence and gain that courage and gain that awareness for yourself. And that's the power of this journey, is trusting yourself and honoring yourself and your own authenticity and your own gifts. I have said that from the very beginning with all of my clients and all of my readings. It is not about one person or the other. It is about each of us having that piece of the puzzle, and together we are able to go through this awakening journey as a greater collective, and that's how we make the change. That's how we change this world, by how each of us approach it from the energy of love. How each of us love ourselves and connect with ourselves and connect with God's source so that we can connect with each other. It's all about, trusting in yourself and your own journey. All right, so that being said, we're going to be looking at doing something a little bit different here. We're doing a Sacred Union energy update, but it's not kind of like the Sacred Union energy updates we've done in the past. I have a March reading special available on my website. We were sold out, but I added a couple of slots that will be continuing next week. I'll continue the readings next week. So if you're interested in a personal reading, you can check those out. And I'm doing these Lucky in Love, Lucky in Life readings, where we're looking at the current energy. If you're in a connection, we're looking at the head space, heart space, potential action space, because remember, you create your own reality. And so with the present moment, whatever is being chosen and decided and created in your present reality is what determines your future. It's what determines the timeline that you're on. It's all about the energy flow. So potential action space. And then what's challenging the connection, or what's challenging you in your life, and guidance for you. We end with a message. So I want to do that, but I want to do it differently. I want to do one reading for the Divine Masculine and one reading for the Divine Feminine, just to see where you are in your journeys and in your connections with each other. Again, the collective that I read for are those who are on the Sacred Union path of ascension, and that journey might look a little bit different for everybody, especially as we are continuing to evolve and go along journey. There might be some changes, there might be some differences, but you're still you're resonating with these readings because there has been somebody that has been a catalyst to your growth, to your awakening, to your own ascension, a mirror soul, so to speak, a mirrored soul that is reflecting back to you yourself. And the triggers, we always say, are opportunities to see where you need to show yourself more love. Yes, we're to heal, but the healing comes from loving yourself more. So where were you maybe abandoning yourself? Maybe where were you neglecting yourself, rejecting yourself? Where were you betraying yourself? Where do you need to have healthier boundaries? Where do you need to have healthier communication, healthier self-expression? All those things, that we call healing is really just remembering the truth of yourself, remembering the soul of yourself before conflict and discord and trauma and pain and experience kind of took hold. So it's where you can show yourself and even show others more love and more compassion and more kindness and more empathy. So you can take these readings for your connection. You can take these readings as the masculine and the feminine energies within yourself. And masculine and feminine are not gender related. They are just energies. And we have both energies within them. We say he, she just because it's easier to differentiate between the masculine and the feminine. But it is just energy. And we have both within ourselves. So you can take it for the inner masculine and inner feminine. And if you're feminine, you might be relating more to the masculine energy at this time and working on your masculine energy. If you're a masculine, you might be working on your feminine energy, learning how to honor that at this time. Take it as it resonates for you. You can take it for the connection as a whole, especially if you are in relationship and communication with a partner. Or you can even look at it from the global collective perspective, because we always say it's the macro to the micro, or the micro to the macro. What we're doing on this ascension journey has a massive effect on the greater collective. I'm not going to go into those teachings. You can check out the Twin Flame Truths channelings for that, or the Sacred Channelings over on Susan Dawn Ascension Connections for more in-depth understanding about that sacred union and twin flames and all that stuff. But you can look at it from all perspectives, because that'll actually help you deepen the journey within yourself as well. So what I want to do is I want to look at the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, your journeys, and just kind of see where each energy might be right now. So we're going to start with the Divine Masculine and see where the Divine Masculine is, and then we'll get to the Divine Feminine. I do want to mention as well that I have a new activation series. We have a new series here on YouTube called Healing in Harmony, where we're going to be looking more into the healing aspects. Now, we've done this throughout the whole of our journey, the whole of our videos. There's so much healing, there's so much learning within those videos. It's not just check-ins on Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. That's always been really important to me, and always where I was guided as well. But the healing series, the Healing in Harmony series, is really going to be digestible information to help you really focus in and hone in on the healing. So if you've been with me for a long time, then you know that we've talked about healing and how to heal and what to heal and all that stuff, looking within yourself and the inner child healing and all that stuff. But we've also created a series. We're going to be looking into more of what we can do to really put that into practice. And I've also created an activation series that's available on my website, so you can take what you need. I have part 1 is available now, where we have different videos. For example, abandonment, inner child. We have projection, betrayal. So we use these key words to kind of hone in on the energies and what do we need to know for these healing energies. You can take what you need. Just buy one video at a time, or you can buy the whole series if you want. And I made it extremely affordable because I believe in that. Okay, so that being said, let's take a look. It's like 7 hours. There's 7 videos, so it's like 7 hours of channeling. Plus, there's angel aura energy healing, light language transmissions at the end of each healing activation session. So it's not just channeling and a reading. It is an actual healing session as well. So you can take what you need, or you can check out the whole course, or you can just follow along with the YouTube. I do have the first video of the series, Separation, available for free. You can download it through my website. You can check it out here on YouTube. So make sure that you're checking out that series as well. It goes deep into the inner work, the shadow work. that we're meant to be doing on this journey. That's what this journey is all about. All right, so let's start with the Divine Masculine and start with the current energies of the Divine Masculine. God, I feel like it's been forever since I've done this. I haven't wanted to check in on the energies. I felt really called to just pull back from that. I needed to work on myself. I needed to feel really secure and safe within myself after some difficult experiences. And I just I didn't care. Not that I don't care in a loving way, but it's that I didn't want to know. I just didn't want to know. It's like I just needed to pull my energy back from all of this for a while, because it felt so, like it had become so distorted. And the journey got so challenging. My personal journey got so challenging. But it feels like there's this energy of forgiveness and love that's really coming through. And that's the journey itself. You know, it always comes back to love. It always comes back to forgiveness. Healthier boundaries, absolutely. Forgiveness and love does not mean that you have to accept. How do I say this? It doesn't mean that you have to accept poor behavior or things that you're not appreciating when it comes to actions. But it does mean that you see beyond the human, you see the soul, and you can love the soul, and you can say, you know what, I don't think that this is right for me as far as interaction right now. But you can still love the soul, and that's what the journey really is all about. It's about unconditional love. Unconditional love does not mean unconditional tolerance, especially if there's hurtful behavior. But it does mean that you see the soul and you love the soul. So let's see what's going on for the Divine Masculine. We have take time out. Some time alone is needed. Let's get 3 cards for the Divine Masculine. That's too much. We have self-sabotage. Yeah, it's interesting. Worth is coming through again here. Worth was a big issue for Divine Masculine in the past. And we have transformation. I really like to see that because I'm really feeling that. It does really feel like there is Divine Masculine. I'm going to speak to Divine Masculines directly because we do have Masculines on the channel here. So I'm going to take this as it resonates for you. If you are, remember you have both energies within you. Divine Masculine, you're going through a major transformation right now, a major soul awakening. Now you can be a spiritual person, you can be a conscious person, but there are multiple levels and layers of awakening, and ascension, like I always say, is a whole new ball game. And you are constantly going through, we are constantly going through death and rebirth cycles along our awakening and ascension journey. That is the point of expansion. That is the point of our soul evolution. And so this transformation feels major. It feels, what I'm hearing is you're clearing out the old. Clearing out the old, by which I mean it really feels like you are examining beliefs. I feel like this masculine energy is really diving deep into their work. And that becomes a conscious choice. You have to consciously choose to want to evolve. You have to consciously choose to do the inner work. That becomes a conscious choice, and that is one's free will. You don't have to do the work. You can continue as you are. But there's this energy coming through of, I want better for myself. I want a better life. I want better connections. I want better relationships. I want to feel more at peace. Whatever the motivating factor is, it's like I'm ready. I'm ready. And so it feels like this masculine, it feels like you're doing a deep dive. It feels like you're really going deep within yourself and looking at your patterns, your habits, your beliefs. And that's where this time out is coming from. It's almost like, I feel like you're still really working on your physical world, as the masculine tends to, really working on your physical world. So this could be jobs, this could be projects, this could be your family life, your home life, whatever this is. It feels like you're still working on your physical life, but at the end of the day, it feels like you're taking time out, almost like once the day is done, it's like you're really secluding yourself to really go within and do that inner work. And I'm also hearing the word spiritual practice, so you might be putting more of a spiritual practice into play. Spiritual practice could be meditation, it could be something like yoga, it could be something like prayer, it could be something like journaling, but it's really, it feels intuitive is what I'm getting, and it also feels like it's something where you can go within yourself. Not within to escape, which might have been the norm in the past. That was some of that self-sabotaging energy that might have been expressed in the past. There was a sense of denial that was coming through for masculine energy. Where there was denial, there was escapism, there was a numbing out. It doesn't feel like this. This feels like taking time out for the self. Taking time out to explore the depths of the inner self and to do that inner healing work, to really explore within the self. It really feels like I'm just getting the inner spiral, going deeper and deeper within the self, really examining, I'm hearing the psyche, examining the psyche. So examining where these beliefs came from, where do these actions come from, where do these patterns come from. With the self-sabotage energy, first you need to believe you are worthy. It feels like there's been this dueling perspective, and I like this card because this is what you have, this death and this rebirth. You see, you have this like skeleton here, and then you have this like a very flourished energy here. This is that death and this rebirth, and it's almost like that's part of the transformation that is happening here, where you are allowing yourself to see where you might have deemed yourself unworthy, or where society or other people might have deemed yourself unworthy, and you began to believe it. Where there is immense amount of shame, where there's immense amount of guilt, where there's immense amount of self-criticism, where you're extremely hard on yourself. I'm just getting this feeling of putting a lot of pressure on yourself. There's a transformation that's happening here where this is healing. And you're beginning to see that it's not about a hierarchy. It's not about being better or worse than somebody. It's just about being your best self. And it's almost like that's where they're turning. This is where the feminine energy is coming in. I feel this has been coming in for the masculine energy for quite a long time now, that the masculine energy is really working on their feminine energy to honor the feminine within them that had been suppressed. And the feminine energy is looking within rather than seeking without. The feminine energy is about their intuitive nature rather than the logical mind. The feminine energy is about allowing you to express yourself in healthy ways, allowing yourself to feel your emotions, allowing yourself to understand and express those emotions, allowing yourself to be adaptable and flexible, rather than really rigid and possibly even controlling. So that's where the masculine energy has been. The masculine energy has been healing the feminine energy within them. That's what helps the masculine energy rise. Conversely, on the feminine side, she has been healing the masculine energy within her, feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling stable, feeling grounded. And that's where she's able to feel more secure for her feminine energy to come out, to be expressive, to be her full sense of self. So you've been working on the polarities, and that's your inner union. And I feel, masculine, for you, what's happening here is you're healing and honoring the feminine now, rather than the distorted feminine energies that might have been really persistent or pervasive in your life or in yourself. Perhaps from experiences that you've had with other feminine energies, wounded feminine energies. What's happening is now you're seeing how to heal that, and you're seeing how to honor that, and that is actually helping your inner masculine to rise, to become more conscious, to become more aware of your inner masculine energy. And if you want to do more work on masculine and feminine energy and balancing those polarities, there are some amazing resources out there. Jason Gaddis, Mark Rose from Create the Love. I absolutely love him. There is Jake Woodard. They do a lot of work around masculine and feminine polarity. So if you want to learn more about that, check those out as well. But it's all like, especially conscious masculine energy and conscious feminine energy. But I feel like there is this mending, there is this healing, there is this honoring that's coming out. And because of that, now it's like there's this healing of shame and guilt, and that all stems from lack of self-worth. And so in the past, where you might have sabotaged yourself or been in denial or kind of gone through this escapism, now it's like you are choosing differently. You're choosing a different path. You're choosing this transformation, not because anybody says so, but because you want better for yourself. You see that there are better options. You see that there are better opportunities. You see that there's a better path. And not only that you see it, but that you intuitively know it. You intuitively know it. It's like you know that what you were aligned to in the past wasn't really what your soul was trying to guide you towards. This is the expanded heart. This is the open heart. And so now it's like you're really seeing how you are getting into alignment with your very soul. And that's the union of opposites. It's the mind and the heart working together now, where before you might have been battling between the intuition and the logical mind, between the masculine and the feminine energies. The masculine and the feminine energies, it's not meant to be a battle. It's meant to work in union. It's meant to work together as one. And so now there's this understanding and there's a realignment. And I kept getting this phrase a couple of months ago, coming online, and now it feels like it's come online, and now it's like you're getting upgraded because you're choosing that path of highest alignment. You're choosing consciously to go through this transformation and to do the inner work, and that inner work is tough, man. It is tough. Ascension is not for the faint of heart. Ascension really means looking at yourself. And it means allowing yourself to not be hard on yourself, to not feel shame, to not feel guilt, but to make those corrections, to hold yourself accountable, to allow yourself to be responsible for your choices, and to realign to better choices, more conscious choices. We've been saying that you don't know what you don't know. And so that's where you have compassion for your past self. But now that you have this point of awareness, this point of reference, it's like you make those new choices and new patterns based on that. You might have had old beliefs based on whatever it was that you experienced in the past, especially when it comes to childhood, past lifetimes, things like that, those experiences that you might have had in the past. But once you're aware, you can shift those beliefs, which means that you can shift those patterns, which means that you can shift yourself, which means that you can create a new version of yourself. You are a conscious creator. And so as a conscious creator, you're responsible for your creations. You're responsible for your reality that you're creating. Can't control the outside environment. You can't control other people, but you can control what's within yourself and the choices that you make. And so I feel like masculine, you are really doing the inner work, and this is amazing. Like, this is like warrior kind of energy, beautiful warrior kind of energy, because it takes a warrior, whether you're male or female, masculine or feminine, to really do this work, because this is hard work. This can often be painful work because it means just a number of different things. It means realigning yourself, realigning your beliefs, changing your patterns, changing your habits, going through this death and rebirth process. But it's almost like you're really getting this sense of freedom and seeing what's on the other side of this. You're seeing these changes, maybe in small steps and increments in your life, and that's what's guiding you forward. Divine Feminines, I want to speak about you for a minute. You've understood this. You've seen this. You've seen what it is to go through this transformation and what it means for your life and how your life changes as you go through this transformation and what it feels like inside, how it brings more peace and how it brings more joy and how it brings more just presence to your life. And I feel like Divine Masculines, you're really beginning to see the fruits of that. You're really beginning to see, oh my gosh, this feels much more peaceful than the resistance or the stubbornness or the fighting or the discord or whatever it was. This feels much more peaceful. This feels much more easy. This feels much more flowing. This feels much more whatever. By these choices that you're making that are more aligned to your heart. And I feel like it's because you are really allowing yourself to go through this transformation without that resistance anymore, without that fear. I did a beautiful reading on what's on all the social media platforms now, called Who Do You Want to Be? And it was a very powerful reading that came out, and it was about overcoming the fear, and you can have a choice whether to grow or to be stuck in fear, and it's like the dueling perspectives, but that becomes a choice, and it's like now you're really choosing to grow and go through that growth process, and you might have been taking steps for that, but this feels like a massive breakthrough that you're going through right now. Keep working on that worth, because I feel like that is going to be a core wound, and just keep recognizing that you are worthy of this transformation, that you are worthy of life, that you are worthy of what it is that you want to create, but you have to keep changing the habits, the patterns, the beliefs, and keep letting go of the old version of yourself, and I feel like that's what you're doing right now. So let's dive in a little bit deeper and see. I don't know what deck I want to use. This is a problem. When you have too many decks. I feel like I'm going to use this one. Let's use this one for the masculine. So let's dive a little bit deeper and see what's going on for your head space, heart space, and potential action space. And what I mean by potential action space, I mean, what steps do you want to take along your journey? And this could be with regards to your connection. This could be because your connection plays a huge part in this. Again, you're mirrored souls to each other in the energy of unconditional love. And it's just, you forget the unconditional love aspect because so much trauma and triggers and stuff comes up to the surface to be showed to each other. But it's just a place for more healing. It's just a place for you to see yourself. So let's see what's going on in the headspace. We have the Devil. I'm hearing the word temptation. Yeah, interesting. We have the Two of Pentacles. I'm hearing the word temptation. There might be old energies that are tempting you back into old patterns. By which I mean, before you really experience a breakthrough, the ego tends to flare, and I call it an ego flare. I don't know what else to call it. It's an ego temper tantrum, that kind of thing. Your ego flares before you experience a real breakthrough in your death and rebirth cycle. And so what happens is it's like all the old fears and anxieties and concerns and all, whatever it was that you're working on, it almost like flares as a form of like protection, as a form of survival. Because the ego isn't ready for that. The ego isn't ready for something different. The ego isn't the enemy. The ego was there to help you to survive. The ego was there as a way to protect you. But the more that you go through your ascension journey, you understand the soul of yourself and that your soul is really guiding you. And when your soul is guiding you and you turn into your soul and your higher self, being one and the same, then the certainty that the ego clings to, the comfort zone that the ego clings to, isn't necessary anymore. And so what is happening is the ego flares because it's trying to hold on to the comfort zone of the past version of where you operated from. It tries to kind of pull you back into that old energy. Are you going to react with the same behaviors? Are you going to react with the same patterns? And I feel like with the Ace of Wands, this is you saying, no, I'm not. Even though the ego might flare, you can make different choices. And by you making different choices, you are then shifting beliefs. You are then shifting patterns, and by doing those things, you are creating the transformation within yourself, and you're breaking through. Your breakthrough comes from the shift in beliefs and the shift in patterns and the shift in mindsets, by choosing differently. And you choose differently by becoming aware. Your awareness, again, is your greatest power, your greatest point of reference. Being aware of the patterns, being aware of your behaviors, being aware of your actions is your greatest point of awareness. And so with the Two of Pentacles here, it's like, which way are you going to go? You're going to choose one or you're going to choose the other. But you come into balance. It's not necessarily one or the other. It's you take the middle path. You take the path of neutrality. You observe your emotions. You say, okay, this is what's happening right now. How do I wish to react? What is my higher self calling me to do? Not the ego, but what is my higher self calling me to do? And it feels like this is part of your transformation. And I feel like you're really overcoming a past version of yourself. And with the Ace of Wands here, Ace of Wands can be a card of awakening, a higher level of awakening. I really like that energy. And the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck is that healing and that surrender energy. So this is an amazing, amazing energy here. The Ace of Wands is just giving me this energy of like a higher level of self. So it really feels like you're transforming, especially within the mind space. This is amazing. I'm also getting this energy of allow yourself to temper. If there are some toxic energies or habits or patterns or mindsets or beliefs that are coming up, allow yourself to temper that. Things can get very heated, things can get very fiery, so allow yourself to balance that within yourself. Bring yourself back to presence, bring yourself back to that sense of peace within yourself. All right, what's going on in the heart space for the masculine? The Seven of Cups. I'm getting this energy of choosing choosing. You have choices now. You have options. You might have felt very stagnant in your life and that you didn't know which way to go. You didn't know how this transformation was going to happen, even though you might have wanted it on a very inherent level. But I'm getting that you have options now. You have more timelines that are opening up to you. We had channeled this a very long time ago. Your present moment is your point of power. And the more that you step into your higher self, your higher way of being, that's not perfection. It's just to put simply, being better than it was before. Your new level of awareness means you make better choices for yourself. It means that you're more conscious. So you're more conscious of how you're acting, what you're doing, the choices that you're making, the patterns that you have, your beliefs that you have. You're just more conscious. And so the more you're in that higher frequency, the more those timelines become a higher frequency. When you're in a lower frequency or a lower density energy, you have multiple timeline streams, multiple options that can be either lower or higher to choose from. But the more you ascend into a higher consciousness, then that present moment just becomes higher consciousness timelines. So it's like that kind of energy. Like you have new opportunities that are opening up to you. And I'm also getting this energy that can be a little bit scary, because it might be very different from what you've known in the past. It might require you to take some action with the King of Wands here. It might require you to make some decisions. It might require you to take some leaps of faith. It might require you to do something that feels out of your comfort zone. And this could be something as small as having a conversation and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. This could be something as big as relocating or taking a new job. Whatever this is, however it resonates for you, it might require some leaps of faith. It might require you to make some new decisions or take new actions that you might have not done in the past. But again, trust your intuition and listen to your higher self. Let that guide you. And I feel like that is letting that guide you. Anything else for the heart space? Anything else for the heart space? And the Four of Swords, yeah. Healing and surrender again. And I'm just getting that surrender energy, allowing yourself to surrender to your heart, which is the crux of the masculine energy, the crux of their transformation, allowing themselves to surrender and open up their heart completely. That is the complete union, the complete wholeness of the masculine and feminine energy within you. It is the allowing yourself to feel with full vulnerability, full honesty, and full openness everything that's within your heart, and allow yourself to listen to your heart rather than pulling back into your mind space and the what ifs and the uncertainty and things like that. There is a place, especially as a masculine energy, there's a place for that mind, for the logical mind, that beautiful mind, but allow yourself to come into harmony with your heart as well. And potential action space. We have the Chariot, we have the Eight of Swords. I feel like this came out in a client reading. And we have Justice. I feel like this is you really balancing yourself out and thus wanting to balance out your life and take direction for your life, or take the reins for your life. Now, this is not in a stubborn, I'm gonna control my life and control everything around me. This is an honoring of yourself. This is a balancing out with the Justice card. This is saying that I know that I can only control myself. And so it's like this Eight of Swords, you're breaking free from the prison within your mind, breaking free from any constraints that you might have felt. This is liberation. This is your freedom, where you are really honoring your path now and trusting your path and doing so not from a place of, again, control, but from a place of this is where I know that I'm being guided, even if it is different from what I expected or different from what I thought it was supposed to look like. I'm going to trust my intuition is guiding me. I'm going to trust that my heart is navigating this. And with Justice, this is a balancing out. It does also feel like karma is clearing. So there might be some cycles of karma that are being cleared. But the more that you make more conscious decisions for yourself, the more aligned with your heart, the more easier that karma is going to clear. Remember, karma is just energy, and the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. All right, let's see what's challenging you right now, Divine Masculine. Let's see what's challenging you. We have surrender to complete healing and surrender resentments. There's an energy of forgiveness that might need to happen for yourself, for others, but it especially starts with the self, especially when it comes to any guilt, any shame that you might have experienced as your unconscious or wounded self, that you might have expressed as your unconscious or wounded self. Anywhere where you might have self-sabotage your life, where you might have self-sabotage relationships or connections, allow yourself to surrender those resentments. It says, holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in your life, releasing other people's judgments of you, releasing your judgments of others, and again, just allowing this transformation to take place. That's what this surrender to complete healing is. Open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. So just allowing yourself to let this transformation occur. And again, it might be a little bit difficult. There might be some resistance. There might be some struggle against this because your ego is like, no, wait a minute. I've lived in this kind of energy and this lifestyle for so long. What does it mean? We just did that. Again, I think that's the who do you want to be? What does it mean? What does it mean? Who am I going to become? That's where some fear arises. And what we had channeled is you become more of you. You become more of yourself. And it feels just so natural and so authentic. And you experience life with a lot more peace and a lot more ease. Your relationships, your dynamics, your work, everything just feels more flowing and more at ease because you are just opened up to more of yourself without that resistance and without that struggle. So allow yourself to go through this process. It is a process, so be really kind and compassionate with yourself. But I really feel like you're doing the inner work, and I really feel like you are going through this healing cycle. This is really amazing energy. Divine Masculine, what do we need to know for guidance for you? I do want to check in on your connection as well. What do we need to know? Conclusions are within reach. So it feels like there has been a very painful cycle. And again, it really feels like maybe ego flares. Maybe there's been some struggles, some tower moments, some dark nights of the soul that you've been through as part of this transformation. But again, breakthroughs are at hand. How are you feeling when it comes to your connection? This could be the one. Yeah, I feel like you're really recognizing this journey. I feel like you're really beginning to recognize yourself in your partner. You're recognizing yourself in another. You're really recognizing love. And that could be love within yourself, and that can be love with an actual person counterpart. But I feel like there's this recognition that's really coming through. Romantic feelings, and from this I'm getting you're allowing yourself to open your heart. And that's a really beautiful thing. That's heart expansion. That's a really beautiful thing, to be loving and open and vulnerable with another. In that intimacy is a really beautiful thing, because that's what it's all about. It's all about love and being open to love. So this is really amazing. Let's get a message. What do we want to do? Let's do this. Let's use my spirit deck. So one final message to the Divine Masculine. Embrace this change. I love that. Embrace this transformation. It is opening up so many doors for you. It's opening up a new timeline, a new version of yourself. And again, that can be a little bit scary, because it's like, well, who am I going to be if I'm not this person that I've been for all my life? Well, you're going to be more of who you are, more of who you know yourself to be, but now you're going to be able to express it more fully. You're going to be able to express it more openly, more authentically. You're going to be more of who you are. So allow yourself to beautifully go through this transformation. You have a lot of love and you have a lot of support surrounding you. You're not alone in this transformation as you're going through this process. But just keep doing the inner work, because the inner work is what gets you through it. All right, Divine Masculines, I hope that this resonated for you. If you're a Divine Feminine watching it, take it as it resonates for you as well. I am sending you so much love and so much light. We're going to move on to the Divine Feminine. All right, Divine Feminines, it's your turn. This is going to be like a long-ass reading, y'all. But it's okay. It's been a long time since we've done this. And I wanted to kind of go deep into the masculine and the feminine anyway, just to see what's going on with the energies, especially since it's been a long time since we've done one of these. So let's see what's going on for the Divine Feminine. Just similar to the Masculine, we're going to look at the current energies, head space, heart space, potential action space, challenges, guidance, and we'll see what's going on with the connection as well. But for this purpose, I didn't want to look too deep into the connection as a whole. I wanted, because it really feels like we're still on our individual journeys, so I wanted to see what's going on individually. But again, take it for your own inner masculine and feminine, because remember, you have both, and that's your inner union. You could take it for a connection to understand what the other person might be experiencing, and to enable you to do your own healing, see within that your own reflection, where can you continue to heal and grow within yourself or expand within yourself, or at the very least to hold space and compassion for the other person, for what they're going through and experiencing. Or you can take it for the global collective energies as well. Okay, there we go. Now it's recording. Okay. All right, Divine Feminine. Let's see what's going on for you. We have take the lead, don't hold yourself back. Divine Feminine. What's going on for the Divine... Oh boy. We have breakthrough, Phoenix rising, a rebirth from the ashes. Yeah, Divine Feminine, you have been going through a massive death and rebirth cycle within you as well. And I don't feel like it's as difficult as it was in the past, although you might have been experiencing some conflict. And I feel like that conflict was really just showing you more of yourself. It was almost like, it's almost like this death and rebirth cycle, this purge that we've been experiencing, was clearing out the remains of the old versions of yourself that you had been clearing out and ending. You've been ending cycles. You had been clearing out old versions of yourself, and it's like that was the remains. That was the debris. And so if you've been going through it the past couple of months, it's like it was just to show you your self-mastery of yourself, your mastery of yourself, to show you how far you've come in your own transformation. And now it's like you're giving birth to that new beginning within yourself. You're breaking through to a new beginning within yourself. And even within your journey. One more card for the Divine Feminine, please. One more card for the Divine Feminine. We have storm warning, responding, not reacting. Yeah, and I'm getting a call to that as well. Self-love at the bottom of the deck is because you've stepped into a new energy, and you can feel that energy. And I even feel like others feel that energy from you as well, to the point where there might be a lot of conflict, or there might have been a lot of conflict, but you are reacting differently, or I should say you're responding differently. You're not reacting. You're not in the same energy that you used to be. And so you're breaking through to new patterns, new beliefs, new understandings about yourself. Again, this is like your mastery. And because of that, it's like you're walking into a new version of your life. We talk a lot about how the feminine energy really leads energetically. And that, again, we have to understand there is no superiority. There is no hierarchy. It's not superior versus inferior. The two halves make the whole. The feminine energy really leads, and the masculine energy grounds that into physical form. The energy comes first, and the energy then is grounded into physical form and takes action. That's what this feels like. It feels like, Divine Feminines, you have been breaking through, which is holding that space and allowing the masculine to break through. But again, understand that if you're still looking at it from that dualistic perspective of, well, superiority versus inferiority, or they're first or they're better, or they're less or they're worse, that's like the wrong way to look at it. I don't want to say right or wrong, but that's like the distorted view, the wounded view. That's where there might be some self-worth issues coming into play. It's not about that at all. It's about two parts make the whole. Again, this whole journey is about the union. It's about the coming together to work in harmony together. And if you're still kind of pitting one against the other as one more or less than, then there's no harmony there. There's no working together. There's no union there. You work together as one. And especially for your own inner masculine and feminine energies, it works together as one to hold that container of sacredness between you two, or between the two energies. So divine feminines, I feel like you have really been going through this inner union process where you're really mastering your sense of self. You're understanding who you are. You're stepping into more of who you are and owning that and mastering that. You're having healthy boundaries. You're saying no when you want to say no. You're saying yes when you're feeling that full-bodied yes. You're really going through a major breakthrough, and anytime there is conflict, it's like it might make you feel, crappy, because under being human is understanding the full spectrum of emotions, but you also have that self-mastery to give yourself more love. You know what it is to heal. You have the tools and you have the resources and that awareness to heal, to give you more love. If something's making you feel rejected, then you give yourself that love. If something's making you feel hurt or anger, then you give yourself that love and that compassion, that kindness, that forgiveness that you might have wanted from another person. You give yourself more love. You learn to respond versus react. This is a major breakthrough for the divine feminine. This is really her in her self-mastery. She is really claiming herself. She is owning herself in a way that she had never done in the past, because her energy had been so suppressed in the past, societally suppressed, collectively suppressed. We're speaking feminine energy, whether you are male or female, feminine energy has been collectively, societally suppressed, repressed, persecuted. And now what's happening is that feminine energy is really rising up, where she is claiming herself. She's allowing herself to express herself and not being afraid to express herself. I've had it in my mind, Callie's been just crazy with me for a while now, for the past 2 years. Callie Ma, she is the divine feminine. She is the wild feminine, the beautiful mother goddess energy. She is an energy of destruction, but also of creation. And we channeled her in a sacred channeling over on Susan Dawn Ascension Connections a long time ago about how you can't have destruction without creation. You can't have endings without beginnings. And she is two parts of that one whole. And so she is that wild feminine energy, and we've been wanting to channel that wild feminine energy and what is the wild feminine. And so we're going to be doing that in the next couple of weeks as well. So we have a lot of sacred channelings coming through that I'm going to be working on and channeling in the coming weeks. I need time. I need time. It's been a lot. So you're giving yourself that grace, you're giving yourself that space, you're holding space for yourself, you're holding yourself in that container of love. This is your inner union, where you, as your masculine energy, you know how to hold that space for yourself, that security, that safety for yourself, to give you more of that love. And as you do that, that's how you have that healthy connection with a partner, because you're in a much more healthier place where you're able to express yourself in much more healthier ways. This is a major breakthrough for you. I want to get a couple of more cards and just see if there's anything else that we want to talk about here, because it feels like this is pretty straightforward. Tell me more about what's going on for the divine feminines. Tell me more about what's going on for the divine feminines, please. Current energies for the divine feminines. That's too much. I am seeing this winter energy, so you might have gone into like a little bit of withdrawal and a hibernation mode, just to really stay in tune with yourself and in tune with your heart space. And anytime there is conflict, bring it back to yourself. Bring it back to your heart space. Bring it back to that place of peace and that place of presence. That is where you are best in tune with yourself. That's where you connect deeply with yourself. That's where you honor yourself and trust yourself. Divine feminines. What do we need to know for the divine feminines? Where's the current energy for the divine feminines? Protection. Clear your energy field. Yeah, divine feminines, I feel like you've really been through, it just really feels like a battle in the past couple of months. It really feels like you have, like, it's almost like you've been tested and tested and tested and tested. It's almost like you've been through tower moments and trigger moments. But again, it feels like this has been your breakthrough because, and you might still be going through those tower moments and trigger moments, but this has been your breakthrough because this is you showing up differently in a different energy, maybe with different behaviors, different patterns, different beliefs about yourself. You're showing up differently. You're in a different energy, and so you're responding differently. You are engaging differently. You're just different. You're in a different energy. And you're claiming that energy for yourself. And so that is where it's like if there were these trigger moments and these tower moments, that's showing you your own transformation. It's showing you your own self-mastery. And if you, like I was saying to the Divine Masculines, if you feel pulled into an old version of yourself, be kind and compassionate for yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't criticize yourself, because this is part of a process. Ascension is all a process. It's all a practice. It takes practice. So don't be hard on yourself. Just say, okay, I can do better. I am aware of it now. I should have made a different choice, and now I can do better. I'm also getting this energy of the energy might have felt a little bit heavy lately, so keep practicing your energy clearing. And this could be through prayer, this could be through journaling, this could be through meditation, this could be through energy healing. Keep clearing your energy, clearing your sacred space, and coming back to that state of presence and peace within. Your peace is your greatest reference point, how it makes you feel inside. If it feels peaceful, then you're in alignment. That's where you can trust your intuition. If it feels peaceful within, if it makes you feel restricted or fearful or anxious, then you're not in alignment. And that's where some ego might be coming into play. But if you are at peace within, even if it's difficult, even if it's challenging, even if it is asking you to really step out of your comfort zone, if it feels peaceful, then you're in alignment with your soul. And you're trusting your intuition in that space. So keep clearing your energy field from the heavy and dense energies, and keep coming back to your inner heart, your higher heart. Keep coming back to that place of peace. Anything else? Anything else here for the Divine Feminine before we move further? Passion, Kundalini rising. I'm just getting like a passion for life. Yeah, and look, you have overcoming obstacles with Ganesh as well. Beautiful. I feel like that's where you've been. And it feels like this hibernation energy that you might have been in, where it felt like there were tower moments and struggles and storms and stuff as part of this breakthrough. Because make no doubt about it, you are rising from the ashes. You are breaking through to a new version of yourself, and thus a new life. This is your breakthrough. And I really feel like the equinox is going to be really powerful for both energies, Divine Masculines and the Divine Feminines. I feel like the equinox is going to be like an open doorway, an open portal for you to step through into new versions of yourself. But it all comes down to your own free will and the choices that you're making. And when I say the choices that you're making, I mean your conscious awareness. So it feels like if you had been in kind of like a hibernation mode, if you felt like you were a little bit shut down as you were going through these initiations, as you were going through these tests, as you were going through these challenges, as you were just loving yourself, honoring yourself as best as you can, just nurturing yourself, healing yourself. There's been a lot of healing energy the past 3 months for the Divine Feminine as well. I feel like it's like passion is igniting. It could be Kundalini energy, but it feels more just like passion for life is igniting. It's almost like you're waking up to like a next level of your life, to the next level of yourself. It feels like if you had been kind of secluded, maybe not interacting as much, just kind of like shut down. It feels like, especially for the Divine Feminines, it feels like you might be more social again. It feels like you're going to be more engaged with the world. But from this new energy, from this breakthrough energy, from this new version of yourself. So if you have felt a little bit shut down, allow yourself that space. If you need that, allow yourself. That is very healing. You might need more rest. There might be more sleep. There's a lot of healing and activations that are happening in dream state through sleep. It's because your conscious mind takes a step back, and there's a lot of healing that can happen when that happens. So I do feel like you're going to be coming out of that around spring. It really feels like I've been channeling for clients April through July. Really feels significant for these connections. Oh, speaking of sleeping, my baby's having a dream. Moxie is she's on my bed and she's dreaming. But it really feels like you might have had to shut down for some healing, for some introspection, for some reflection, especially if there were a lot of challenges, to really show you yourself, to really see how far you've actually come, to move you through, to break through, to clear out that the residue, the debris of the old version of yourself, the old cycles that you were in. And so now it's like the momentum's picking up, the passion for life itself is igniting again, the passion for yourself is igniting again. There's forward momentum that is happening. So let's see what's going on for headspace, heart space, and oh no, what did I do? Okay, there we go. Divine Feminine's headspace. What's the Divine Feminine's headspace? Yeah, Divine Feminine, Seven of Pentacles, it might have felt the past couple of months like it almost felt like things were pretty stagnant. Again, you were in like a hibernation kind of energy. It's almost like, well, where's the momentum? Where's the action? Where's the action? The Page of Wands. It's almost like, where's the beginning? I can feel it coming. I can sense this anticipation. I can feel it. It's right there on the horizon. What's going on? Almost might have felt like you were pulled back into like this, I don't have another word for it, like this hibernation mode. But again, that was almost like a time for introspection, a time for reflection, so that you can see how far you've come, and almost like to test your self-mastery. Now, I don't like the word test. The universe doesn't test you. So it's not quite accurate, but I don't have another word for it. It's just to show you yourself, to show you how far you've come, to show you your own self-mastery, really. So it's not necessarily a test, but it was showing you yourself. So it might have felt like you were planting all these seeds, but yeah, where was it? The Four of Pentacles. You might have even felt like really apathetic. You might have felt kind of bored. You might have felt really stagnant. But those seeds were planted, and those seeds are coming. There is this beginning that is here. Four of Pentacles is an energy where it feels like you might have been very held back, but I feel like that's what's breaking through here. The passion's igniting. It's not passion necessarily as in, it's like a passion and exuberance and enthusiasm for life. You're breaking through to, like, you're opening up a new door, and there's so much energy behind this door that you're walking through, that you're walking into. So it's like, if it felt really stagnant, if you felt held back, if you felt really just like nothing's happening, it's not about watching the seed that you planted grow. It's about just trusting the process. That seed is growing. That seed's growing no matter what. And you haven't been able to see. A lot of us were really shut down. You've heard me talk about this before. It was like the Moon card, where it's like, I can't really see that far ahead on the journey right now. A lot of us were really shut down because there was so much that was being planted and that was aligning behind the scenes. And now it's like, okay, all those pieces are coming into play. And this is what we've been working on. We've been working on our healing, working on our self-mastery, working on making sure that we are really anchored into loving ourselves and have integrated all these lessons and all these experiences and embodied our higher self. And now that we have, it's like, okay, now we're moving into the next phase, the next journey, the next cycle. And now it's like coming to full bloom. But it's like, if you were watching it, it wouldn't have grown. It's the saying of, yeah, a watched pot of water eventually boils, but it takes a hell of a long time to get there. Don't put your life on hold. You would have been putting your life on hold. You would have been holding yourself back. And in many ways, you might have felt like you were held back, but life was still aligning. The energy was still aligning. You were still going through healing, and now you're breaking through to the next level. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Divine Feminine, what's going on in your heart space? Thought something flipped, maybe not. The Knight of Swords, yeah, you're charging forward, and in your heart you can feel this. You can feel this like opening of your self-expression, an opening of yourself, an opening expansion of your heart, and you can feel yourself charging forward here. And the Six of Wands, yeah, lots of victory, lots of success, lots of recognition. I don't mean recognition as in like public recognition, although it could be. I mean recognition of the self. Like you're recognizing yourself. You're recognizing your own expansion. You're recognizing your own self-expression. You're recognizing that your heart is ready for something new. Your heart is ready for the next journey, the next phase, the next something, the next version of your life, the next version of yourself. It's going to apply to everybody in different ways. And the Ten of Wands. I feel like it's because you've put down the burdens and are putting down the burdens. If you still feel like your heart is burdened, I feel like that's what's clearing here with the charging forward, with the success, with the victory. The Six of Wands is like an overcoming energy, an overcoming of the burdens, an overcoming of that weight. And yeah, with the Ace of Pentacles, it feels like walking through the garden, like walking through a new gate to a new garden, to something new, tangible. 10 is a card of endings. But endings create new beginnings, just like we were saying about Callie. Destruction begets creation. And understand that what you're destroying is an old version of yourself. And maybe even there are changes or have been changes in your physical life. But that's because that physical life was created from a past version of yourself. It was a past manifestation of a past version of yourself. And now that you've shifted in consciousness, now that you've shifted in energy, you're moving into a new version of yourself, which means a creation of a new life for yourself. And that new life can be in a number of different things. It could be new relationships. It can be healthy relationships. If an old connection, old relationship is coming back around, then it might be in a different energy. It could be a new job. It doesn't have to necessarily be a massive change in jobs. Maybe it's a different responsibility. Maybe it's more of you're being valued more. Maybe you have better finances. So it doesn't have to be massive changes in your physical world, but the energy changes. And we talked about that in the recent reading as well. So make sure that you're checking out the recent Soul Path reading. It doesn't have to be massive changes, but the energy changes. And that's what's important. The energy changes. So things might have to oh yeah, look, the star. So like you're getting wish fulfillment. Like you're creating a higher version of your life. So that old version of your life had to change because it was an old energy. It was based on an old energy. But now you're creating a new energy. So there's newness that's coming in, and it doesn't have to be a new physical thing, although for many it will be, but it's just a new energy. It's a new energy that's going to create more opportunities in your physical form. And what's going on in the action space, potential action space? We have the Five of Pentacles. Interesting energy. I'm getting almost like reverse Five of Pentacles, because what I'm hearing is like where you might have been begging, it's like you're not begging anymore. Where you might have been I'm just getting this beggar energy. I'm just seeing her and she's just like, please, sir, can I have some more? Like that kind of energy. Please, sir, can I have some more? Like, what is that? Oliver Twist, is that what it is? This begging energy. It feels like you're not leaving yourself out in the cold. You're not bending yourself to the point where you're begging. You're not begging for affection. You're not begging for attention. You're not begging for support. You're not begging for encouragement or validation. You're not begging for anything material. You're not begging. You're in an energy now where you feel supported, where you feel guided, and you're taking those guided steps for whatever it is that you need, whatever it is that you want. You're trusting your intuition to guide you rather than in resistance that makes you fight for something, or that makes you reach for it, attach to it, or need it. And you see like you see in my hand, it's like this very rigid kind of energy. You're not in that rigid energy anymore. You've really learned a lot about yourself and a lot about love within yourself, and so it's like you're putting the energy where it can meet you. It's like the universe wants to bring to you. So you're allowing yourself to be in the energy, not that you're chasing, not that you are pursuing is a good word. That's your masculine energy. The masculine doesn't chase, the conscious masculine pursues. So if we're talking about your own inner masculine, you're pursuing, you're taking guided steps and guided actions, but you're not chasing. You're allowing the universe to meet you. You're allowing those opportunities to come towards you. That which you value values you. You're allowing it to meet you. Anything else we need to know? Anything else we need to know for this space right here? Potential. Ace of Swords. Three of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. There could still be some healing that's happening. I'm getting this energy of communication. So there could be a healing communication that is coming through. Or some kind of clarity that's going to bring healing, where you're not begging, but you are having some kind of balance. This feels like balance. The Five of Pentacles, interestingly enough, is giving me this energy of Six of Pentacles, where there might have been this lack, there might have been this begging, there might have been this loss, this being left out in the cold, but now it's all balancing. It's being reciprocated. There's some clarity, there's some truth, there's some understanding that's coming in that is healing the past. And I like the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, because the Three of Swords is that heartbreak that needs to be healed, that needs to be mended, but the Three of Pentacles is like working together in harmony. So whatever the situation is, this could be your counterpart connection, this could be something within yourself, this could be something connected to, you know, whatever situation, whatever the storm warning energy might have been as well. Whatever the situation was, there is more harmony that is coming in. And I feel like there's a lot of healing that's coming in from some kind of communication or clarity or truth that's revealed. And that truth can come from some kind of communication as well. I'm also getting this energy of a new beginning. So embrace the new beginning, whatever that leads to. But the new beginning is going to be healing. Healing is always possible. Healing is always possible if you allow it. Healing becomes a conscious choice. Okay, let's get a card. What is challenging you? What's challenging you right now, Divine Feminines? Surrender, defensiveness. It's like, I feel like you have healthy boundaries, and part of what you're shifting and part of what you're changing is, again, responding, not reacting. You're surrendering that need to explain, excuse yourself. You're surrendering that need to defend yourself. And sometimes that means not engaging. Sometimes that means not reacting, not responding. I feel like this is a huge change within yourself. And part of that is learning how to trust yourself. Doesn't necessarily mean the other person or the other party that's involved. It means allowing you to trust in yourself. To stand in your truth, to stand in your integrity. That's where your dignity is, where you're honoring yourself, where you know yourself. And that's been part of your breakthrough. That's been part of what you're learning here. That's been part of your self-love, where you're saying, you know what? I know myself, and nobody else has to agree with me. Nobody else has to even like me. That's been one of my greatest lessons the past couple of months, is not everybody's going to like me. Like, not everybody's going to like me. Imagine that. In fact, I might be a villain in quite a few people's stories. That doesn't mean that I don't have loving intentions. That doesn't mean that I don't have a good heart. That doesn't mean that I don't try my best. But it's just, you know, some people are just not going to like the decisions that I make, or the choices that I make, or the things that I say. And that's not up to me. It's not my responsibility what other people think of me. That has been a really challenging lesson for me. But I have to, at the end of the day, trust in myself and stand in my integrity and stand in my truth. You know, as a former people pleaser, someone who's still working on that, it's my responsibility to be honoring of myself and true to me. And yes, honoring of others and respectful of others, which I always am. But also, it's knowing that, you know, people may misinterpret you. But that doesn't mean that I have to constantly be on the defensive. I can learn to trust myself and honor myself and be very loving and very compassionate for all parties involved. But I also have to extend that love and that compassion to myself. That's been a very difficult lesson for me to learn, but damn it, I am learning it. Spirit was going to make me learn it kicking and screaming, but I'm learning it. So yeah, trust in yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you've chosen the right path. Just allow yourself to trust yourself. Again, when you're following your peace, that's when you're in alignment. If it feels peaceful, then you're in alignment with your truth, with your integrity. All right, let's see what guidance we have for the Divine Feminines. And you don't have to agree or disagree, but you do, because every opinion is valid, every truth is valid. Everybody has their beliefs based on their experiences and their level of consciousness or where they're coming from. And so that's where you have respect for everybody, but at the end of the day, you trust in yourself. You trust in yourself. And that's why we began this reading by the intro by saying, like, everybody has a different piece of the puzzle, and everybody's walking up the mountain. We help each other, we support each other, we encourage each other, but always with respect. And that's where if it's harassing or abusive or not respectful, you don't have to invite that into your energy. That's where you have healthy boundaries. All right, guidance for the Divine Feminine. We have work through your feelings. Part of being human and part of recognizing your divinity as a human being is allowing yourself to feel the full gamut of emotions, to recognize and acknowledge the full spectrum of your emotions. That's the beautiful part of being human. And as spiritual beings, we understand that those emotions serve a purpose. We learn from those emotions. We learn from those experiences. But we don't have to attach to those emotions and tell stories about them. So allow yourself to work through the feelings, especially if you're kind of in this energy up here. Yeah, exactly. Find a balance. Bottom of the deck, find a balance. So Divine Feminine, how are you feeling about your connection at this time? Divine Feminine, how are you feeling about your connection at this time? Reconciliation. This could be with a counterpart connection. This could be reconciling within yourself. This could be with somebody new. There's a lot of different paths that are being taken at this time. But it really feels like at least reconciling the past. Allowing yourself to reconcile what was experienced in the past or your connection with the past. It doesn't mean that you need to continue in that direction or with that journey with that person, but the energy is reconciled. For many of you, it could be that there is reconciliation with a counterpart connection, but again, remember, you're in a different energy, and so as long as they're in a different energy, then it's like you continue with your journey in that different energy of harmony and move forward in that growth. But everybody's going to be in a little bit of a different path here. So reconciliation energy, we've been picking up on that as well. And again, I've been saying for clients, April through July feels like significant transformation. That's going to be resonant for everybody in a little bit of a different way. For some, it's counterpart connections that are coming back together in this reconciliation energy. For others, it's a new energy that's coming in. And again, you're reconciling the past so that the new can come in. But take it as it resonates for you. Just allow your journey to unfold. Keep allowing it to unfold. Keep being in that state of presence for yourself. Releasing expectations, releasing any attachment to outcomes, and just allowing it to unfold. And let's get a final message from Spirit. Grow. I love that. Keep allowing yourself to break through. Keep allowing yourself to grow. Remember the seed that was planted? Again, yeah, look, no more playing it small. Life is aligning to your best and highest potential. Keep tuning into your inner light. The seed that was planted, you are growing. Things are aligning energetically behind the scenes, and you're going to start really feeling and seeing the growth and the blossoming of that. This is part of your breakthrough. It's almost like the bow and the arrow. You had to kind of pull yourself back a little bit, and now you're going to shoot forward. So beautiful, amazing energies for both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. There really feels like there's a lot of growth and expansion that is happening for both energies. So amazing, amazing job. This is what Ascension is all about. It's for the growth. It's for the expansion. It's for the soul evolution. The evolution of your soul that is experienced within your human form, your human story. So beautiful, beautiful job. All right, you guys, I'm sending you all so much love and so much light, and we'll see you with some more collective readings soon.